Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. In this video I'm going to be going over some of the things we have to do before we move back to Canada, what our feelings about moving back to Canada are, and what is happening to the children's Patreon account. First off, I'd like to say that thanks to everybody that showed support for Wei Fong and I through these trying times, let's call it trying times. It was greatly appreciated. And I guess it was greatly appreciated. Anyway, when we decided that we're going back to Canada, we started looking at the news because we really weren't paying much attention to the Western world because our lives are here in China, and we've been here for pretty well steady for the last 2 to 3 years type thing. So we had no inclination of going back to Canada anytime soon. Oh, Canada, man, what a basket case this place is right now. You've got convoys of truckers going to Ottawa because of the COVID mandates that they're putting in place. And you've got to understand that Canada and China are two different things, because I know people out there are going to say, Gweilo, but what about China? China does this and China does that. Well, they do, but you got to understand the style of living here is different. The government is different. So it's always been different. In Canada, you have what they call the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which gives you the right of mobility, gives you the right of free speech, gives you the right, well, all of your human rights as we see it as a Canadian in Canada. And the government of Canada thinks that they can take those rights away because of COVID. And the truckers don't see it that way. Healthcare workers, police don't see it that way. There's a lot of people out there that don't see it that way. And what does our fearless, let's call him a fearless or fearful leader, Justin Trudeau, do? Well, he says that their views are unacceptable. Unacceptable views. They say that this is just a fringe group, a small fringe group of Canadians that have unacceptable views.
The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing?
Okay, well, the small fringe group is basically taken over Ottawa, you know, and in Victoria and all the major cities around Canada, you've got these protests going on, and I'm thinking, holy smokes. We're going into the belly of the beast, it seems like. I hope the healthcare system is still working, because that's important to us at this point. Then I was talking to my daughter about inflation. You see, inflation's a big thing in Canada right now. Housing is through the roof. Your foods, the shelves are empty in a lot of the stores because they can't get enough product in. Well, that's probably to do with Trudeau and the government printing $4 billion and giving it out to everybody. So everybody takes this money and they go and they spend the money on whatever. Down payment on a new car, a bike for the kid, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter, a new TV. And as supply is less than demand, inflation goes up. Yes, more dollars means more demand for the products, less products. And but the government doesn't mind that. They like inflation. And you say, why? What? Well, see, the government in Canada makes more money if there's inflation. Think of it this way. If you're going to buy, and I know a TV is worth more than $100, but if you're going to buy a TV for $100, you're going to pay 7% PST, provincial sales tax, in Saskatchewan, let's go with Saskatchewan, and 7% GST, goods and services tax. Okay, so that's $14 on a $100 TV. But what if the TV inflated to $200? Well, then the government's going to make, you got it, $28. So the government makes more money as inflation, as things get more expensive, the government makes more money. So it's a good thing for the government, bad thing for the people. The people are getting fed up with the Trudeau government in Canada, and you can see it's endemic across the entire country. How he ever got in to begin with, a drama teacher that can't, a part-time drama teacher that can't string 3 words together if his life depended on it without reading it off of a script. Unacceptable views? Canadians have unacceptable views, but if you're an ISIS terrorist that kill people, you're a Canadian as a Canadian as a Canadian. Like Omar Khadr. And you can give him $10.5 million. That's the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's understanding of what's right and what's wrong for the Canadian people. And I'm going back there, and Wei Fong's going back there. God help us all. So as these truckers and motorhomes and cars and trucks and whatever all head for Ottawa, what does Justin Trudeau do? What does our fearless leader do? That's right, he runs and hides. He runs and hides because he says that it's not safe for him. So now he's assuming that all of these truckers, all of these people that are going to Ottawa because they don't like the mandates are somehow dangerous criminals, and his safety isn't guaranteed if he's not in hiding. And not only that, he gets COVID at exactly the same time. So how obvious is that? You know what I mean? Like, you can't trust what these people say. In hiding from Canadian citizens that have a beef with his mandates, and he can't be talked to because he's in hiding from the Canadian people that he's supposed to be representing. Actually, what I've seen from the Canadian government over the last number of years is that they're dividing people rather than uniting people. They're, they plot the vaccinated against the unvaccinated. They plot the East against the West, Quebec against Alberta, oil workers against green people, tree huggers. It's one of the things that the government's supposed to unite the people. The government is supposed to make it better for all Canadians, work on behalf of all Canadians. Trudeau's said numerous times that he thinks Quebecers are better than the rest of Canada, and everybody knows that Quebec is a draw. Sorry to say it, Quebec, but yes, you're a draw on Canadian society. I don't have a clue why we have so many prime ministers that come from the province of Quebec. They want to be their own country. But yet we allow this group of people to dictate what happens in the entire country. I'm going to take it on the chin for this one, aren't I? Oh man. Anyway, but it's what I think. It's it's true, honest Gweilo 60 understanding of his Canadian world that he's going back into and taking Wei Fong with me. A divided Canada where the western provinces, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC, there is no liberals there. It's all conservative. It's blue from one end to the other. In the east, you've got liberals, red from one end to the other. There's really nothing in common. They have totally opposite political views of what their country should look like. Maybe it is time for a divided Canada. I'm not sure, but under this administration right now, it's closer to being divided than it has ever been in the past. I think arrogance has a lot to do with it. When government figures that they've got the power to tell the people what they can and cannot do, in a place like Canada, it's because of the arrogance of those leaders and the people at, like, the butt cracks of the world, butt, a butt of the joke. But they've got to understand that in a society like Canada, the politicians actually work for the people. and if they don't work for the people in the proper manner, they get voted out, and then they no longer have a job. With the rich elites like Justin Trudeau, because he's a trust fund baby. That's why he never finished university. He was a part-time drama teacher. He's a feminist, but he still gropes women. He dances. He makes a fool of himself in a place like India. SCN Lavalin, getting involved with the legal system and basically, breaking the law on a number of occasions. All of these different little scandals that he's been through, that's okay, because he's an Eastern Canadian. He's Quebecois, born in Ontario, mind you, but still Quebecois. Because of the population in that area of Canada, they designate what happens all over the country. So again, as this inflation keeps rising, the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. As properties go through the roof because people have more expendable cash, because the government just printed $4 billion. So properties that were worth a couple $100,000 are worth $300,000-400,000 Canadian dollars now. That makes it very difficult for people to buy homes. As the prices go up, rents go up. That makes it very difficult for people to rent homes. Why does Canada have so many homeless people? You got it. Justin Trudeau's policies and the Liberal Party's policies. It was never that bad under Stephen Harper. Actually, it was fairly good under Stephen Harper. We had balanced budgets in the whole 9 yards. Housing was affordable. People's wages were good. It was just a better world. What the hell is the matter with the Canadians right now? Why would they vote a loser, part-time drama teacher that can't put 3 words together as the Prime Minister of Canada? Okay, and now what's happening with the Children's Patreon account? There is no possible way that Wei Fong and I can run a children's charity in China from Canada. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be closing down the Children's Patreon account. But not totally closing it down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to just a regular Patreon account. If you want to donate to this channel to help us put out content and whatever, and we will be putting out content in Canada, I guarantee you that. We have a family around the world through YouTube, through Weibo and Billy and Tutiao and Sigua and you name it, Facebook and Twitter too. We have a family that we've built, and through all of the support that we've gotten over the last week or two, since everybody knows about what's going on in our lives here now, I don't want to lose that family. I don't want to lose you guys as part of our family. So I'm going to keep making videos. But the Patreon account, the Children's Patreon account, I'm going to be changing it over the next couple of weeks to just a regular Patreon account. So if you are a patron and you just want to donate to a children's charity, please unsubscribe to the Patreon account and take that money and put it in another children charity somewhere, anywhere around the world. Our Patreon account started when Wei Fong and I went on a trip to Siem Reap, Cambodia, to Angkor Wat. And there was a little girl standing outside Angkor Wat. I think she's maybe 7, 8 years old. She's a very small girl. And she was selling bracelets for $1. So we didn't take the bracelets, but we gave her some money. And I asked her, I said, "Why aren't you in school?" And her response was, "Only the rich children get to go to school." And that's basically where the Children's Patreon account started. Wei Fong and I thought about this, and we thought, well, maybe we can do a little bit of good. And we have actually done a fair bit of good with the Children's Patreon account, but I think it's run its course now. And as I say, in Canada, we've got to focus on Wei Fong and Wei Fong's health. So I'm going to be changing it from one to another. So as I say, if you're donating, you can still donate to the Gweilo 60 Patreon account, and it'll help us personally. It won't be used for charity anymore. But in the future, when we come back to China, and that's why I'm not shutting it down 100%. When we come back to China, we can spark this puppy up again, and away we go again. So there's that to look forward to in the future. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60 by the river in Nanning, China. It's just a beautiful day. And thanks for watching. Oh, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back. Don't worry about that. I like making videos. It's my hobby. It's what I do as an old man for fun. So until next time, peace out. Thanks for watching. Bye now.